Ashley says, I love your stream. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Before, I recognize you from another streams we have done here on this channel. How I am? I'm very well, thank you. Hope you are good as well. And also Ashley says, I did. Oh, thank you very much for subscribing. Much appreciated. Do we have some questions regarding what's in the title, or maybe there's a topic that is close to your heart that you want me to speak on, or maybe you have a situation in your life that you would like some guidance on? I am a health optimizing coach, and I work, as they say, as a holistic coach. You know, I take the physical, spiritual, and psychological into account, the whole person, because we should aim to be fully human. So come again here. You're the best. Oh, thank you very much for that. So anyway, anyone with a question, please put it in the chat and I will pick it up and I will answer it for you. So yeah, I actually just now did a podcast with Tommy Alfredsson. He have a podcast called Captain's Log in Swedish. He do most of his content in English, some in Swedish, but we did in English, so that's nice. Let's see here, we have a question. Snasly, he asks, is it safe to do boxing at 13 years old? Yes, and it's actually a very good age to start in. And I'd say as soon as possible, actually. So you can start long before that. I started martial arts when I was like 8 or 9. Then I pivoted to boxing after that, and I was like, 9.5, 10 years old or something like that. But I wasn't younger than 10 years. I wasn't older than 10 years, so it's perfectly safe. But if you have trainers that make you like full contact spar and hard strikes to the head very early, then take precaution. But most trainers are they know what they're doing and they won't let you spar that hard in the beginning. I did. My trainers were pretty hard, and so we had pretty hard sparring. So, but it's perfectly safe to do that in that age. So just go ahead and do that, my friend. And if I could ask you, where are you from, and have you any martial arts background since before? So everyone new to this YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That would be much appreciated. And also, if you have a question, please put that in the chat and I will pick it up and I will answer it for you. We can also have, let's see here. And Snusly says, did you learn martial arts for your health or to defend yourself? Both, actually. I wanted to get in shape and I wanted to become a better fighter. I wanted to be able to defend myself, and I always liked fighting. It's in my blood. And me and my brother and also cousins, we fought a lot and against each other as well. And so my older brother was quite brutal as well. So it was a very good idea for me to become a better fighter. But also I was a bit chubby when I was a child, so I did it for that as well. My idols in that age was like Van Damme and Bruce Lee and Sylvester Stallone and so on. So yeah, no figure that I started training in that way. So let's see here. We have more questions maybe. before, come with a question that he have asked before. I had heard that using creatine. No, it was not him. Okay. Before asks, I had heard that using creatine causes hair fall. Yeah, yes and no. It is converting DHT, it's called, which is like killing the hair cells. I think, if I remember correctly, there are some studies that show that, but there's also a study that shows that it doesn't. So I think it's, if you have it in your family, you're more prone to it. But I don't think it will do it in a great extent, actually. So remember, creatine is a natural thing that you eat. If you eat meat, you will have creatine in the meat and so on. So yeah, it depends on genetics first off. But no, creatine is quite safe for the hair. I have, in my youth, I did delve into that rabbit hole, but I can't remember. But my conclusion was it's not a big of a deal because there was not much evidence of it, actually. Let's see here. Snusley says, I'm Lebanese and I started boxing like 3 years ago, maybe. Oh, that's great. So if you started boxing 3 years ago, why the question of if it's safe to start when you're 13? Because you have the result, right? You have trained. Let's see here. Ivanhoe says, respect to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. B4, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for the question as well. A good question. And yeah, look into it and look at the studies. So you will have, because don't take my word for it, but it should be nothing of concerning matters. B4 says here, what do you think about martial arts? Which religion belong to martial arts? Because I thought Buddhism is belong to martial arts, and then maybe it's demonic. What he thought about? Little weird sentence building there, but anyway, I will answer you. And there are different martial arts, of course, and the more traditional martial arts like karate, kung fu, and so on is often in the East, and it's of course because that is laying on the principles of that culture and principle of that religion and so on. So of course there are those elements in those martial arts. I would say it's no problem to train any martial arts that have this intermingling with Buddhism and so on. A lot of to do with intention when you do stuff. It's not crazy to ask the question if it's demonic, because you can open yourself up to things like demonic stuff when you meditate. And some karate clubs, when I was a child, we did meditate, actually. So I did start meditation in an early age because we did that in communion, everyone in the karate club, in the dojo. So yeah, that's something to be cautious of, actually. But other than that, no. Then you had Thai boxing, Muay Thai. That's something I've trained very much, and my favorite form of stand-up fighting. And it's, I would say, the most efficient. And that is why it's the most used martial art in like MMA, UFC, and so on. So Thai boxing, yeah, the Thais, they're Buddhist, but there is no need to be a Buddhist to train Thai boxing, Muay Thai. So don't overthink that one. But it is a very good question, because you never know. You never know. Let's see here. Snavely says, yeah, I asked if it's safe because maybe it wasn't and I was doing something wrong. Okay, I see. Of course, of course. Then I would say the only thing that to take precaution, of course, is do not do too much of full contact sparring, especially to the head. Boxing is dangerous in that way compared to like Thai boxing, because boxing is so centered to the head, and that there is where your brain are. And you don't want to hurt your brain, because you want to keep your cognition and your ability to think and have a think intellectually and so on. So take precaution of that. But if you're going to compete, you have to do some full contact boxing, of course, because you have to get used to all the hits and punches and so on as well. And your reaction maybe doesn't train that well if you don't fight full speed and full strength. But then again, you can learn much just to play around with like 50% of the strength. So take that in precaution. So I see we have some new people that joined in. Welcome to this live stream and my YouTube channel. My name is mattiaslidborn, and I am a health optimizing coach. I would be very glad if you go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and then also maybe put a question in this chat here. And you can see some of the topics and questions that are up for grabs in the title, but everything that is relating to that or something else you want me to speak on, just write that in the comments and I will, or in the chat, and I will pick it up and I will maybe talk on the topic. Snelson says, oh, thanks. Okay, thanks to you, and thanks to B4 as well for the question. And let's see, B4 says here, all the sports are different. They have a different purpose. Yeah, I would say. Even martial arts have different purposes, and I think that was you were hinting at, actually. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think that because some martial arts are more defensive, some are more offensive. So yeah, there are differences within the martial arts realm as well. Some are actually for unaliving people that are approaching you, like Krav Maga and so on. Let's see here. Okay, guys, thank you for that question before. Snalthy says, what does the Bible say about jealousy? I can't come to mind to a verse or something more, something specific like that. But that's a good question, man. But jealousy, you can see it through the in the stories of the Bible, that jealousy, of course, is something that often doesn't end well, because through jealousy people act out their anger and their hostility and so on, and they sin through jealousy. That's about it. Maybe, yeah, that's a really good question. I have to write down some verses that talk more specifically about jealousy, because jealousy is a very, very normal in our society, but have always been something. And jealousy is something that triggers a sinful behavior. Yeah. You want to grab something that isn't yours, you know. You don't have the full potential to be that you wish that person is or have. So yeah, I'm here waiting for some more questions. Thank you very much for that question. Really good question, and I might look into more specific verses and parts of the Bible that go into jealousy and what happens to those people that are very jealous and so on. You have one example let's see here, in the Old Testament with Saul against Paul. Oh, no, sorry, what I'm saying. Saul against David, and David is running away. Maybe I get the name conflated. Maybe it's Simon or Saul, but the king that want to unalive David because he's actually jealous. So yeah, can we have some more questions, please? That would be nice. Let's see here. Ashley, yes. Okay, you're in on the 2 live streams. Yeah. So let's see here. Snusly says, sorry, but I have to go. So I have subscribed to you, and please keep doing what you do. Oh, thank you very much. That warms my heart, and I'm very glad that you subscribe, and I will keep on doing what I'm doing. Hope to see you tuning in the next live stream or so. Yeah, so people are everyone that is in here in the live stream, please put a question in the chat or a topic that you would like me to speak on or any of that kind. Please go ahead. So, okay, guys, do we have some more questions maybe? Yeah, as I started to elaborate or speaking about earlier, I were actually just like an hour ago, I was in a podcast that is called Captain's Log. Captain's Log. He do podcasts with both Swedish and English, but in later years he have done it in English. So everyone that not Swedish speaking can look at that when that comes up. He will publish it on his YouTube channel and Spotify, and afterwards I will do the same actually. So let's see here. B4 asks, what do you think about how we come with the first country, second country, and third world country? How it's working? Like why they call in the different name? Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I think, yeah, it's of course a numbering of how, yeah, of course, it's a numbering of how developed the country is. So a first world country is very developed, of course, and a third world country is not that developed. So then you have different stages as well in how much a country have developed and how far into development the country is. And I think the only country that is in numbering, when numbering this, number 5 is Japan. Japan, actually. Let's see, B4 says, I think religion also considered. Yeah, of course, if you have a culture based on a religion, or vice versa, you will be prone to the discrepancies of that religion. Of course, you need to have yeah, for example, if you have a religion with a principle that doesn't allow development, then of course it will stagnate. Yeah. So, agreed. Yeah, so we will keep on going in a little bit more here. Hopefully we can get some more questions, or maybe someone that want me to talk on a specific topic or something of that kind. So yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I can speak a little about the pod I did recently with Tommy Alfredsson. Go ahead and check out his YouTube channel. And also look at his podcast on Spotify and YouTube. So we had a real good talk. We talked about violence, training, martial arts, religion, God, existential questions, psychological questions, and so on. So I think you will. It was actually the first time I went to another podcast. I have a podcast myself, but I never been to another one's podcast. So this was the first time I sat in the other chair, so to say. But me and Tommy, we have been spoken. We have talked about doing this pod for a long time. He was actually my first. He's. If you want to know who it is if you go into my archive with or the list with my podcast, the Metanoia Path podcast, you can go in there and check the first episode with Tommy Alfredsson. That's the guy. So you can check him out there, yeah. We have some new participants here on the live stream, and I say welcome to my YouTube channel and the stream. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. That would be much appreciated. So go ahead and do that, please, and then put a question in the chat. So if you can do that, I will pick it up and I will answer it. You can also see this as a coaching session, because we can have a back and forth, you and I. If there's something in your life that you would want to be more proficient in, want to develop, maybe you want to get more energized or something of that kind. So yeah. Then we have here on the horizontal live here. Ashley is also here. She was there as well, and I don't know what. Okay, no, she says. Guess what? No, I don't know. Please tell me. Please tell me. Please tell me what you are hinting at. Yeah, anyway, let's see here. B4 continues, and he says, let's see here. Let's see here. First world country, maybe it's a white Christian country under democracy, and the second world country. Maybe it's a Christian country, but maybe it's a communist country, a third world country. They are not follow the Christianity. That's why they call third world country. Now you can actually have a third world country that is Christian, but so yeah, I won't be that hard line, no, because of course it can be we have examples of third world country that maybe are not explicitly Christian, but you have big Christian areas that are prone to violence and poverty and so on. Of course, you have many examples of this. Yeah, let's see what she says here, Ashley. Yeah, no problem. I get it. Let's see. Yeah, of course you can have Yeah, communism is secular, you know, or secular. It's they follow this ideology of Satan, you can say, but the first thing they do in a communist society is to kill or to unalive priests and destroy churches and so on. Something to keep in mind when you talk with Marxists and communists and socialists. Oh, let's see here. Ashley, you call me egghead? Yeah. I think you're kind of right there. You look like a bald egg, or bold egg, or how you say it. So, Ashley, why so hostile? Can you please explain? Let's see here. We have Manish Shukla says hello. Hello to you. Ashley, I'm leaving. Okay, thank you for joining in anyway. Manchi says Ganju. I don't know what that means. Ganju. Maybe it's a greeting in like an Indonesian language, maybe. Okay, sorry to hear that, Ashley. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully, you can explain why. But thank you for joining in anyway. So let's see. Can we get some more questions here? So that's quite funny. Ganju means in Hindi head without hair. Yeah, exactly. Hello, I'm Mr. Bald Guy. Glad you noticed it. Glad you noticed it. So, everybody new to this live stream here, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and also put a question in the chat so we can get a little bit of a conversation going here. We had some good questions later on. Before, always have good questions. Maybe we can get some more. Manchi, are you a bald guy maybe? Okay, so Manchi asked if I am Christian. Yes, I am Eastern Orthodox Christian. So yes. Yeah, let's see. Can we have some more questions here? Anything actually is up for grabs, so just try me out and we will see where we are heading. Okay, let's see here. Manchi says, okay, just to keep in mind, I have two streams here at once. So one in vertical, one in horizontal. So I have a mic here for the vertical, and then this mic here goes to the horizontal. So, in this one, in the horizontal one, I have a thing that I would like to take off here. It's automatic translation from any language to Swedish, so I have to retranslate it. Let's see, and sometimes it's lost in the translation of the automatic translation here on YouTube in this horizontal stream. Let's see, Manchi says, say one time, yeah, Shri Ram is an Indian god. I don't know what you mean about that. Sorry. Don't know what that Ram. Yeah, it's an animal worship of some kind. Of course, in India, they in some tradition worship cows, cattle or cows. Yeah. So please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Let's see here if I can understand this correctly, what B4 is saying here. He says, I think Israel is root of the Christianity, and maybe Israel not exist. Then for Christianity going to be maybe its methodology. Yeah, you're onto something there. And of course, Israel is not a place in space and time as the country Israel. That's not Israel. Israel is the communion with the believers in the Orthodox Church, and that is the church. It's the people in the church that is in communion with each other. So it's more spiritual, and also, yes, I would agree, because when you say Israel, I think you mean rabbinic Judaism, and that is also true. That rabbinic Judaism isn't the real. How can I say it? It's not that Judaism is on its own. We as Orthodox see the Second Temple Judaism is the proto-Christianity, and the whole Old Testament as well is the fourth coming of the new communion, the new covenant. Sorry, and so the Old Testament is showing proto-Christianity. So we believe that everyone back to Noah, Abraham, and so on were Christians. And actually, Rabbinic Judaism came like 400 years after Christianity, after Christ's death, that is, and resurrection. So 400 years after. And it was a reaction to Christianity. And they even deleted some of their prophecies in the Old Testament that they use, the Tanakh, and this because of the prophecies of Jesus coming, the coming Messiah was too clear and too obvious that they had to delete it actually. So yeah, and the Eastern Orthodox tradition is, if you look at it, you can see it also is very similar to what the traditions of the Hebrews and so on. So if we can get some more questions, that would be nice. But if not, I will end the live stream actually. But if we can get some more questions, that would be appreciated. Otherwise, I will just end it. So, okay, thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. Hope you. Let's see here. I can stay a bit more here because people have more questions. How do the valuation of the currency and how it's working? How to get? Let's see here. I need to see this a bit closer here. How do the valuation of the currency and how it's working, how to get the valuation in the currency. I think you mean how is currency valued? Before we have a society that were based on trade, of course. Then we have currencies, and they oftentimes were goy coins, golden coins and silver coins and so on. So there were a real value to that coin. But today you have like papers and garbage you do with the coins and so on. But you had then they started to make unvaluable coin, let's say, without any gold or silver in it, and that was supposed to represent gold, because you can't go around and have like a bunch of gold in your pockets and so on. So they did it that way. So today, you know, it's a whole different story, because money is created from thin air. Actually, the banks create money from nothing and create inflation and control the system and know how to invest and so on, and destroy the value of the money and so on. So today you don't have the golden standard as you had before, actually. So let me see here. Before says again here, what is civic sense? I don't know. I don't know what it is actually. I don't know. In what context? Civic sense? What do you mean? You can look it up. See what you mean. Okay. Yeah. Social ethics. Yeah. Yeah, it's social ethics. So I would say like civil behavior, the norm, how to behave and so on. No problem. Thanks to you for the question. Do I have some more questions, maybe? So anyway, if we doesn't get some more questions, I will just end it here. But okay, before no questions more. Thank you very much for all the questions. Really appreciate it. Every time you're in here, you always have good questions. Really appreciate it. So yeah, I think this was quite a good live stream here. So thank you very much for joining in. And before, thank you very much for joining in once again. Everybody, have a nice day. Bye.